Now the point of this is, most of what we think we know, we don't know. And it's wrong. And I just want you to keep that in mind.
Like you got ED trying to keep up. See, we don't keep mouth shut, gotta speak up. Leaders of the so-called free world thinking they're immortal till we show up just to prove to they bleed blood. Leave them in a shallow grave like a speed bump. In the name of freedom, the reasons they want to take them away are the very same reasons we need guns. It's your right to defend against an agenda that doesn't have your best interest in mind. The system is set up to leave you defenseless. The media manipulates to leave us blind. Deceitful eyes that demonize the would-be heroes in the people's eyes. If they could wake up and see the light, every single one would see the need to rise up. Time's up, it's a revolution. Let loose on them for retribution. Say they want to crack down on the crack usage when they're the ones that introduced it. The CIA sponsored Iran concentrated guns for cocaine in Nicaragua. Not the first time and not the last time that they turned out to be the true problem. Check the ties to domestic terror. Oklahoma City to the Boston Marathon bombing while they're crossing their finish line. It's apparent that they want to scare you, but they're careless with their errors. Follow the breadcrumbs they left the trail of. Can make you believe what you refuse to. So if that's the case, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, there's a blackout. I can't see nothing. It's dark. Everything, the grid's gone. There's panic in the streets. Chaos everywhere. Oh, wait. Oh, I had to turn on my light. That's the problem. Oh, so it wasn't a blackout, a national grid blackout. Everything's gonna go chaotic. People are going to be in the streets killing each other for a slice of cheese. Then again, that is a battery-operated light from the dollar store. So there could be a bigger conspiracy here going on. The grid might be down, and it's just because I get my electricity from Canada that I'm good. Or is it just that these people that pander fear? I'm calling them fair panderers. They're perverts of the net. You know? And I understand why Anonymous and Q and all these morons that are in these big psyops do it, because it's part of the trauma-based mind control. And, oh, get your attention, come on in, more followers, fair panic, excitement is all yours, just follow our bullshit and you can be scared too. By the way, click on the little icon and buy your prepared meals for 20% off. Just say Q sent you. And I'm not saying don't be prepared. I got a whole motherfucking cabinet full of MREs. I'm prepared. Blizzy's prepped. She's got extra dog food. All that jazz. She's even got her favorite canned food and all that good stuff. She's, you know, she's well prepped. She's probably more prepped than I am. But I get tired of it. It's year after year the same bullshit to fear. And one thing you've learned over, well, at least I have, I don't know about you, because I'm not speaking for anybody else, but I've learned, is like when Flat Earth came on the scene, people were pushing, the people that were pushing the MK Ultra guys, that were like the leaders in the movement, and that's what they were tied back to Stanford research and all that shit, so they're MK Ultra people that were pushing it, whether you like it or not. It's not my fault, it's not my history, it's their history, okay? And you need to take that into account. But that's none of my business. If you want to follow these people, that's all on you. Anyways, these MK Ultra people that were pushing like Nurebu's coming and all this and that, and they even gave some dates. I'm trying to remember which guys, but they always pushed the Christian stuff, and they started pushing the Nurebu stuff. Then they started working in the Flat Earth. I was like, what the hell's going on here? You know, they always had some really intelligent things, a lot of truth, and then they mixed in all this insanity with it. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? This is a psychological operation. Why else would you use MK Ultra people? Sorry to make fun of it like that. But it's not, I'm not here to talk. Well, we will. How about we do talk about Flat Earth a little bit tonight, just to piss off some people. I know it pisses people off when I do. And, you know, I think that's also important, that it's okay to piss people off. It's okay to not go along with so many of the mainstream, you know, narratives, whether they're in the alternative community or in the real world. Because when it comes down to it, you know, if you do go along with them, you're basically selling out. People have said to me, Jerry, well, you know, if you just, you know, went along with some of this, you know, whether you believe it or not, some of this Christian stuff, you'll get more followers and, you know, more likes and all that jazz. And, but that's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. I care less how many people like me. Because if I start caring about how many people like me, then how the hell am I going to give you truth? I'm pandering to, you know, the popular. And we already know the CIA controls what's popular. I'm not joining the CIA. I ain't no bitch. I ain't nobody's bitch. I'm Jerry. And I'm happy with me. And that's the great thing is, you know, sometimes people see me being an asshole. But in reality, I'm kind of just enjoying. Let me get this stupid mouse cursor. It jumps in my face. You can't see it, but I can. But, you know, I'm proud of life and I enjoy life. And that's the great thing, because I'm not tied to having to meet people's expectations, okay? And that doesn't mean I don't have expectations for myself to do what's right, to do what's good, to go further, to do better, or blah, 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 or any of that shit. What it is I'm not being anybody's bitch, okay? I'm not being a Christian bitch, a flat earth bitch. I'm not being a whatever agenda bitch. I'm not being a cute bitch, an anonymous bitch, which is really an anonymous bitch. Yeah. You stay away from the anonymous bitches. Anyways, I'm not being a bitch. Why should I have to be? Why should you have to be? Why should anybody be a bitch? It doesn't mean that you're against society, the whole world, or anything else. It just means you want to be a great contribution because of your own independence and pride in who you are, and be able to expand who you are, make yourself better without being part of somebody else's shit. It's the way I look at it. So, why don't we slide on over to Flat Earth, right? Let's see. Okay, let's slide on over. And, you know, let's talk about this for a second, okay? We have Mr. Spaceman here, okay? And we have Mr. Spaceman that went to outer space, as they tell us, okay? And you're going to say, Jerry, you're only proving Flat Earth by saying he's not going to space, or he's not in space. Ooh, quite the contrary, mon frere. Oh, quite the contrary. Let's see here. What do we got? We have Mr. Spaceman in a spacesuit. Studying the spacesuit, I don't see any, you know, air intakes or outtake so that he can be cooled via any kind of freon. You know, there's no way of possibly evaporating. But they also tell us, well, he's got the super cooled water or liquid that goes through the outside, you know, in between layer of his spacesuit there to cool him down. That doesn't make sense either. Because here's the thing: there's no way to cool it down. And take this in theory. I want to throw this out there. Okay? Is the sun hot? Is the sun hot? In the vacuum of space, is the sun hot? Because, you know, when radiation travels through the vacuum of space, basically those molecules pass through without resistance, therefore not heating anything in between matter and what's emitting that radiation, which would be the sun, the big radioactive insanity in the sky. Or people might say in the bulb, whatever. I'm not sure what they say, but those people say something other than that, I guess. But let's say the sun in the sky for just the purposes of this. We have the sun in the sky, and we have Mr. Spaceman in the sky, with no resistance between him and the sun, except for the vacuum of space, which is no resistance. Therefore, he's cooking like a mofo. He's frying. He's like, I don't know. He's like a you know, he's just like a, I guess, like a fry. like a frying. He's frying. It's like oil in a frying pan, just splattering, right? But these little cooling lines, okay, these cooling lines, there's no way to keep them cool. And with that type of radiation hitting them, they would instantly heat, bubbling, boiling him. So we also understand that, okay, what does a microwave cook? When you put something in a microwave, what does it cook? It cooks the water molecules, right? Because you throw a paper towel over it, unless the paper towel gets moist from steam coming up, it doesn't get hot. It doesn't burn. Paper towel's fine. You can throw paper in the microwave, it comes right out. Boom. Not hot. You can touch it. Boom. No big deal. Because there's no water. Or less water. Everything really has kind of microscopic amount of water. I'm sure everything does. But what I'm saying is that there's not much water. It's not going to get that hot. So, Mr. Spaceman, he's made of what? Water. So how the frick is he not boiling? Not boiling. So yeah, we understand that. But Jerry, you're just proving that the Earth is flat. No, I'm not. We've got lava. Lava! Sometimes it comes out of volcanoes. It just spews all over the place. It erupts. We have lava. It comes from what? Well, we're told it comes from a hot core. Spinning, pressure, heat, and dairy, the last place that, the magnitude of microwave is going to hit is the core. So without the release, it's going to heat things up and it's going to be very hot. And that's how it creates lava. Otherwise, really haven't heard of an explanation of where lava comes from. So, but the heat's got to escape. And when it doesn't escape it, it explodes. So, how is Mr. Spaceman not exploding? But how is the Earth? How is the Earth flat? Because if there was nothing under it, then that heat transfers through without creating enough microwave radiation and pressure to explode lava onto the Earth. So, anyway, it's not like, does the whole Earth sit in a bath of lava or something? And is there an explanation for that? Well, that's hell, Jerry. That's where the devil is. No, I'm sorry. You can't add that to a scientific conversation. When Dante freaking pretty much invented the devil, before that, there wasn't. It's not scientific, mofo! What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what. Blizzy, what are you doing? It doesn't matter what your theories. 5 million different theories on why we didn't go to space. It all comes down. They're all pretty much right. But what is amazing to me is we have millions of people that work in the havoc industry all over this country. Maybe, I don't know, Mal. I'm not sure of the amount of havoc people there are out there, but there's a lot of them. Everybody knows like a havoc guy, a heating and air conditioning guy. And shouldn't we be showing them pictures and ask them, how is Mr. Spaceman out there? How is the shuttle out there without just cooking? Just cooking. Frying like a freaking hot fry. Steaming in some greasy oil. And McDonald's or some shit. Why is it not cooking? Why they ain't cooking? They ain't cooking because they're not there. So, of course, that always shows up, people, they look at it and they say, okay, well, that means there's some kind of dome that protects us and this and that. It's like, well, what is a dome? Right? What is a dome? What is, like, let's say you put a plastic dome on something. Right? So you have plastic domes basically made from what? Oil? So you use different temperatures and different consistencies, and you form like a plastic cover to something, a domey cover to something, right? You heated up the molecules in a certain way and cooled them in a certain way that it created a dome, right? Well, what's going on in our atmosphere. You know, I'm not being particular to the atmosphere itself. I'm talking about all of it, our atmosphere of our human being. Is we have molecules. We have things that travel around us, air, all kinds of crap. The shit they're putting in the air, God knows what that's gonna fuck up. You know, if you really think about it, the shit they're putting in the air. And here, I'm gonna run. Let me before I skip over this, so you completely understand this. We have these radiation belts or magnetospheres or whatever, and maybe they're even wrong in what they're actually calling them. But when you have different pressures and different, things expanding and contracting in air and water and oil, you're making almost a consistency when something's so big to that of, well, a plastic dome that you may have made for a little bowl or project or something. Because when you really look at it, we would be microscopic in relation to it. So even the pores of the bowl would be something that would not be complete, but in theory, that pool, that expansion, contraction, the mixtures of the different airs and waters and carbons, which are oils, basically creates almost like a dome. Does it mean it's unpenetrable? No, not by something as small as we are. And we don't know the consistency of our protection. So it's not that the dome there is wrong, it's just the understanding of what it actually is. People look at it as if it was a glass dome, and when in reality, nobody ever said that, our protection layer, whether it's magnetic or whether it's done with different consistencies or anything else, is actually creating such a thing. Because, in theory, a radiation belt that protects us could be considered a dome. Because, an active material that, let's say you did make a bowl, right? And you designed that bowl to interact with the radioactive materials that are being shot out of a microwave, right? If you designed it in a certain way, that radiation belt around the bowl you built would cause the radiation from not seeping in. Therefore, you created, your own dome. And here's the thing. A radiation belt would not even have to be entirely enclosed if you built one to protect the food from being hit by microwaves or radiation. It could have perforations and still not let radiation in, as long as it was grounded properly. Okay, which I guess would now open up the questions to, all right, well, Jerry, then how's the Earth grounded? Well, that's a good question. So, if you're going to ground something, you're going to need what? You need basically an electromagnetic current, whatever, to draw them, bypass that current, which means we would have to be spinning. And gyroscopically spinning, most likely. So, I hope some people caught on to that. I'm not sure if they did, and who cares? Nobody ever listens to my explanations, usually half the time anyways. But that's my explanation. It would entail, the heat itself is the answer. The heat itself is the answer to what's going on. Everything has a frequency, whether it's this heat, that heat, or whatever. But, something's emitting heat, something's receiving heat. And there's, all kinds of stuff going on in between. But, what's going on, for some reason, is actually protecting us. And the most likely story is that there's some kind of spinning action going on to create that radioactive field to protect us. Does that make sense at all? Or no? Does it make sense? Huh? You get it? Huh? You get it? Not sure you get it? You get it? Huh? Yeah, you get it? Just checking. Anyways, I gotta stop saying anyways. Till next time, we'll see you later. You know what I mean, man?
It's changing your reality, you know. They orchestrate insanity, you know. That they taking all your rights away. And you don't realize what is happening, you know. It's changing your reality, you know. They orchestrate insanity, you know. That they taking all your rights away. And you don't realize what is happening. That rap and raw, man, I got that. My militia music can't stop that. Bring it with the words when I combat. Standing up for rights when the lead's attack. Better get to step and don't overreact. I'm gonna say bullets when I break it at. Rather earn mine when I get respect. That separates the boys from the men. This sample sick with the violin. The conspiracies you can't comprehend. Declassified, there's no pretend. True so shocking that it made the fans. So the facts are known, but you still condemn everything I say that's been the trend. This same old shit, here we go again. Throwing them strikes straight out the bullpen. They telling y'all what to think about. You convince yourself without a doubt. No research, just word of mouth. With the education, there's been a drought. En route to the slaughterhouse, and it'll be too late when they figure it out. But they'll be the first to scream and shout. How the fuck was that allowed? Gave away your rights, now think about. You gave the cash straight to the cow. Plutocracy is here and now. Bilderberg, they wear the crown. This shit is real, don't fuck around. They'll end your life, put you in the ground. So when the revolution's going down, don't be a part of the body count. Did you know? It's changing your reality, you know. They orchestrate insanity, you know. That they taking all your rights away. And you don't realize what is happening, you know. It's changing your reality, you know. They orchestrate insanity, you know. That they taking all your rights away. And you don't realize what is happening. Mozart was a mason and poisoned for his betrayal. Bush's our relations to Windsor's unholy grail. Fairy tale, we the freest, got most people in jail. US got so many sold, I never bought what they sell. Warburgs, rich Jews that helped out Hitler. Abuse, it's true, misuse of scripture. Abuse, it's true, poison blew the system. Soon our troops serve the White House eviction. Militia platoons consumed with imminent doom. We give a fuck about the people, even immigrants too. I stand in solidarity. FEMA can't prepare for me. They hate to see my team doing all these shows for charity. We spit the facts, let you know what you don't. Like how the Pope's a ninth circle, a satanic cult. The government hidden hand, black magic and coke. While we hanging Uncle Sam, I'ma laugh when he choke. Did you know? It's changing your reality, you know. They orchestrate insanity, you know. That they taking all your rights away. And you don't realize what is happening, you know. It's changing your reality, you know. They orchestrate insanity, you know. That they taking all your rights away.